G'day, Jason here from In Search of Australia. Today I'm in Gerroa, down the south coast, just south of Kiama, looking for fossils, but also fish. So I'm going to see if I can find the fossils first. It's a bit late in the afternoon, but I want a little bit of light to spin off the rocks. Let's see how we go. So there's a few interesting facts about Gerroa. This is pretty much the edge of the ditch. And what I mean by the edge of the ditch, this is where New Zealand and Australia broke apart, or at least one of those sections. So the rocks here are very similar to the west coast of New Zealand. This is a midden of considerable size and age by the looks of it. So the indigenous people of the area would come down, have their shellfish and toss it all in the same spot and create these middens. It hasn't taken me long to find some. They're actually quite impressive, the size of them. I'm not going to try and extract any because I do like just leaving them if I can. If I find some loose somewhere, then I might take one. But I'll give you a few examples. It's actually really quite impressive how many are here. Must have been a mass shellfish area. You can see here where people have probably been trying to chip them out. This is why I just look for loose ones, because it would have been nice to see these still here. Here the layer is really evident. Seem to be all across this strip here. Bring it in a bit too fast. Oh, snagged, I think. So obviously there's a shallow bank just where the waves start. I didn't let the lure sink that long, but it got caught on, I guess, weed. Luckily I got it back, so I'm going to have to head further over there where most people are. This is a fairly safe platform here because, as you can see, the swell's not big and the waves aren't coming up. Our catch is, if I catch a fish, I've got to lift it, and that can be a problem. You usually want some access, like over here, to wash your fish in. But then of course you've got to move along and keep out and watching the waves. So I'm going to try a little bit further down to get a bit of a compromise between. Starfish that got trapped up here by the looks of it. Always wondered what sunglasses do for the camera. Oh yes, it does filter it. So the lenses are polarized, which means we can now see through the reflection on the water. We'll have to get a proper filter though to fit to the camera. There's a difference. No luck with the lures. I've lost a few, as in lures, no fish. I'm going to use the rest of the light to go down to the beach and just sort of see if there's any channels I can mark to maybe bait fish tonight. See if there's anything there. One of the things about fishing and fossicking is it doesn't matter whether you're getting anything or not, it's just being out there. Seeing sunsets like this one, sunrises, animal life and other phenomena that occur at that time. just makes it worth it in itself, and I already feel satiated. Common mistake beach fishing is casting past the channels. Unfortunately, there is no real channel close here. So you can see the break along here. There may be a slight channel just now where the break is, but it wouldn't be substantial. When I look over there, there's a small section that doesn't really cause a crest in the waves, which could be a channel heading out. But this does not bode well, this spot. I'm going to have to look further afield. You can see the waves peter out just here. Turning to nothing. And then reform. So there's a channel just there in the center of the screen. It's a very cat-like sound. So the rig I'm going to use is essentially a running sinker and some ganged hooks. The idea being the sinker helps sort of keep it within the area without drifting off really fast in a current, but also allowing the bait movement. Now the area that I'm actually fishing looks like it's been eroded pretty heavily, which is, you know, bad for a beach as such, but the channel there is really close and quite deep. So if you ever want to know how to put a pilchard on a hook, a gang hook, there's a simple way to measure it first. Now unfortunately these are quite small, and my gangs, I don't have a lot of different sizes, so I might be having just a tail hook. But essentially what you want to do is you want the eye to be up the top and then the tail followed through at the end. So to do that, what you want to do is measure where your gangs are going to go. So if my eye is going to be on that top hook, I go to the eye there, and I can see by just putting a little dent there that my hook here needs to go in at that spot. It's a shame these pilchards are so small, and I hope it doesn't interrupt things. But at night, I think the fish are a little less discerning. So you put that first hook, this would normally be the bottom hook, but as you can see, it misses the tail. Then wind that up, and you can see this one lines up perfectly with the eye. Put in your last hook. Like so. Now I won't be able to show you me fishing. It's just too dark. I don't want to shine light on the water, and GoPros aren't that great without light. So what I'll do is I'll come back, if I catch something, show the catch. As they say with beach fishing, you can quite often cast past the salmon. I just slowly brought this in and it was almost on the shore, and that's when it got hit. So they're really close. I got bit off. It went for a big run. My reel's set to be quite firm, so whatever it was quite big. I was almost getting it in. I could see the splashes even in the dark, but I get the feeling it was just a little bit too big. Okay, just get my torch, my light. We got one Australian salmon, nice size, about 30 centimeters. So, out of 10 pilchards, one fish. I have to say that salmon are a strange pelagic fish. Being aggressive and eating other fish, they bite like little tiddlers. The best way of describing it, it's like a little tiny tap. Down to about the second last pilchard, I think. I'm recording this after finishing, just so that you can see what I was talking about. So I followed the light out. There's no break in the waves until out there. The waves come in and then it sort of stops a bit and then has to crash here. There you go. I had my shoes on, that's why I backed up. But I'll show again. Right out there, we've got our surf. Dwindles off, so you can see it disappears. This is the channel, and I was getting bites literally just along this section here, and the thing that bit me off was sort of somewhere over here and took off out that way. I just think it was an extra large salmon personally. But that's almost at my feet, that channel. Sadly, one fish, but it was enjoyable, and I think I deserve getting one of these. Get the sand off it. well deserved, I think. Anyway, that's it for Gerroa. Tomorrow I'll be out at Llewellyn Ford, and I hope you enjoyed this sort of piecemeal in search of. Cheers.